Welcome to the Zen Zone. I'm Zen Lee, the man with the most EUC views in the world, and I'm here to tell you that things may be worse than I thought. But if you stick with me till the end of the video, there may be some positives. Today we are going back in time to 2015 to look at a device that's comparable to the EUC and what's kind of going on in the EUC world today, right now. This device wasn't as powerful, it didn't get the range, and it definitely wasn't as cool. But I really feel like there are some lessons we can learn from how that market played out. And before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and even join the channel, become a member, get your Zen emoji, get your invite into our private chat, and join the channel if you want to stay on top of EUC news, events, and yes, the drama. I'm on an 8-day video streak right now, posting long-form videos designed to entertain, inform, and educate. And this video might be the most important one yet. So go ahead, kick back, grab yourself some munchies, and prepare to enter the Zen Zone. We are going back to 2015, where hoverboards were everywhere. You saw them in malls, airports, YouTube videos with millions of views. It felt like the future had finally arrived. I remember even my sister's kids had them, and she was kind of anti-tech. Everyone wanted one. But behind the hype, there were cracks forming that most people didn't see. Hundreds of small dealers popped up almost overnight. Most weren't innovators. They were just rebranding the same exact product coming from a handful of manufacturers in China. I think there were even door-to-door salesmen that would go around selling hoverboards. This business model wasn't built on community or long-term support. It was built on flipping as many units as possible before the bubble burst. And for a while, sales were strong. But then reality set in. Margins got razor thin, competition turned into ugly price wars, and dealers were stuck holding warehouses full of inventory they couldn't move. Meanwhile, the manufacturers looked around and asked themselves a simple question. Why do we even need these middlemen? That's when the real shift happened. Manufacturers cut the dealers out, went direct to consumer on Amazon, Alibaba, and later even through their own distribution centers. And almost overnight, the dealers disappeared. The few that tried to hold on, they were forced into desperate fire sales, dumping everything they had just to stay afloat a few more months. So why do I bring this up? Because when I look at the EUC market in 2025, I see some of the exact same signs. Rising tariffs, pressure on margins, and a flood of sales that don't look like normal promotions. To me, it feels like we're watching the early stages of a familiar story. And the ending for hoverboards wasn't pretty. And that brings us back to where we are right now with EUCs. I am seeing brands go on sale at a mass rate. And I don't mean the normal seasonal promotions or holiday discounts. I mean the full product lines marked down. Wheels that were never supposed to be on sale suddenly being slashed in price. In my opinion, this isn't just marketing. This looks to me like an exit strategy. Many companies and dealers are doing whatever they can to sell as much inventory as possible before washing their hands and walking away. They see the writing on the wall, tariffs cutting margins, manufacturers looking to set up their own direct sales, and parts becoming harder and harder to get. Here's the key. If you're a rider looking to buy, don't panic. My best advice is to be patient. The longer you wait, the deeper these sales are likely to go. Now, you being patient is going to hurt these dealers. Maybe some of them do want to continue and just need a few more sales to continue. But I think the reality is many of them are going to try to exit, and they want to make as much money off you as they can before they quit the community, bounce, take that money, go to Thailand, get some massages, which sounds really nice, to be honest with you. I'm thinking about doing that. I could use some massages. They're like $120 here in Las Vegas to get a massage, if not more. And then in Thailand, it's like $10 to $20 for the same, if not better quality. Anyways, way off topic. My best advice again, be patient. These sales are likely to get deeper as these dealers get more and more desperate. Think about it. If a dealer knows they might be out of business in 6 months, what's more important to them? Holding out for a few extra dollars, or clearing the shelves and getting whatever cash they can? And guys, these dealers that don't have service centers are making a killing right now. I mean, if you look at my affiliate sales, I think I sell about 10 to 15 units every month, and at 1%, that's my rate, I'm making like about $500 a month off these affiliate sales. Now, a dealer without a service center that has no overhead, with the same amount of sales, let's just say, and most of them are getting way more sales, but let's say they were just getting the same amount as Zenly's affiliates, let's say they're getting that amount, they are probably making anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a month, and their job is simply just to keep you happy on Telegram, answering your emails, maybe answering a call here and there, and then just managing the shipping, which is not difficult work, and they are making a killing. Now, the ones with service centers, they have like a family to take care of, and that eats up a lot of their profits. But these dealerships without service centers, they are laughing all the way to the bank, and you are happily giving them your money because they're giving you a little bit of a discount. And in my opinion, these dealerships are going to be the first ones to walk away. They didn't build a long-term service center, and service is probably where the money is going to shift, in my opinion, in the future. There's a dealership here in Vegas that charges like $120 an hour or something like this to service your scooter or your electric unicycle, and they have a line. They have to turn people away because they cannot service everybody. They don't have enough room. So if you are trying to remain in the community or remain a dealer, I think the ones with the service centers will be the most likely to survive if they have good rates on their service. In my opinion, it's these drop ship type of dealers that have destroyed everything. They've destroyed everything, in my opinion, because the manufacturers are like, wait a minute, we can just do that. We don't have to open up a service center. We'll just ship people parts. We'll charge more than the cost of the wheel that we're giving to current dealers. It's a win-win for the customers. It's a win-win for us. It's a win-win for everybody except the dealers that have already established themselves. Again, I think we're going to see bigger and bigger discounts as the year goes on. So if you're in the market for a new wheel, hold back. Let the dealers who are exiting show their cards. They will be showing their cards. I'm seeing some sales now, as I mentioned, that are a bit abnormal. You might end up saving hundreds, maybe even thousands, just by waiting. Another thing I'm noticing right now, I made a video in the past about how tariffs were the beginning of the end, essentially, and then they kind of went away, or so I thought. Recently, on a shipment I've got it was FedEx, some parts, I had to pay a pretty massive tariff fee on it that I wasn't expecting before that FedEx would deliver the package. It was a lot more than I thought it would be for the weight of that package. It was so light. It was the motherboard, and I think it was $60, which I guess isn't too much considering the value, but I am seeing people with parts that are heavier and less expensive, because the motherboards are maybe, if you buy a new motherboard, it's maybe around, let's just say $500, $250 to $500, and it doesn't weigh much. But there are some heavier parts like suspension rods or like a motor or something like that. Because of the weight, you're going to get hit with a huge tariff unless that company sends it DDP. Now, I feel like I don't have any evidence of this really, But I feel like these manufacturers are kind of delaying shipment to these dealers that have service centers and just dealers in general, maybe to kind of put pressure on their customer service, because it looks really bad. I know a guy that's waiting for a part from eWheels, a part that was supposedly in stock, and now it's been like 2 weeks. And normally when you order a part from eWheels, you get it that's in stock, you get it in like a few days, a week at the most. But 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's getting a little insane. It's likely because something that exists in the past, was just maybe air shipping a part over. But now if you're having to pay a massive tariff fee on that shipping, then it doesn't make sense for these EUC dealers to ship parts over to have to eat that tariff. And then if they're thinking about exiting, they don't want to eat. Their margins are already so low with their service center and everybody they're paying. Or if they're exiting, they're just trying to make as much money as possible. They don't want to have to pay that tariff. And yeah, so that's something I'm seeing right now. Nobody's really taking the blame. And maybe it's backroom politics. They just see a dealer who can't deliver. The customer sees a dealer that can't deliver and is like, man, maybe I'm just going to go with the dealers or the manufacturers' dealerships, because it is looking like the better option. Get your parts faster, better prices. It seems like a win-win for the customer, and it probably is. On the positives, it might be a win to cut out the middleman. Some of these middlemen are, in my opinion, just leeches on the community. Yes, they give you a little bit of a discount. Yes, they may answer your messages quickly. But they're making such a large amount of money doing such a little amount of work and not giving back into the community, not sponsoring any races, not sponsoring a racing team, not doing anything to help the longevity other than answer your Instagram messages or your Telegram messages, which is not hard work. I worked for eWheels for a year answering emails. It wasn't hard work at all. It was kind of even enjoyable, and I was getting paid pretty good at the time, and it was just not hard work. It was long hours. But like it was not hard work at all. I would do it again right now. And that is why I feel like I'm a little bit hard on these dealerships that don't have service centers, that I see them kind of as a drop ship type of community. They don't have to pay a lot for a big warehouse to keep parts, for their team to work on the wheels. They don't need to buy tools. They don't need to pay salaries. They literally just answer your messages, keep you happy, which is important. That is a part of it. But they are making so much money that it's just and giving nothing back to the community to keep things going. It seems very leech-like to me. That is my opinion. I'm curious to know what your opinions are below. Do you have any experience? I'm hearing people paying 100% tariff on parts. That's what I've been hearing. And it's looking very bad on the parts. You may want to stock up now. I'm not trying to fearmonger in any sort of way. This is just the reality of what I'm seeing now. I thought the tariffs were basically gone, but no, they seem more aggressive than ever. And I don't know what the source of that is. Is it because now the manufacturers are not willing to pay that anymore, or are willing to pay it in some situations? I have a new wheel coming from FedEx soon. I just got the tracking number, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm a little bit worried that I'm gonna have to pay a huge tariff fee on that wheel. I will keep you updated on that. If you could keep us updated in the comments below, if you have any experience with these tariffs, or if you're seeing a delay in parts, or if you're having a bad customer service experience with anybody, or seeing any sales or anything like that to help keep us all informed, I would really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video up until this point, please like, comment, keep my channel alive. I am the fastest growing EUC channel in the world, the EUC channel with the most views. Hopefully I can survive. I feel like racing has been the single greatest thing that has happened to the EUC community. The TEF1 race coming up here is, I think it's going to have over 70 racers likely. It's growing faster than any other PEV sport. I was the first EUC racer in the world and the first EUC racer content creator, the first guy on TikTok making shorts. I used to get made fun of for making my TikToks. Why are you on TikTok? That was before I was the first male EUC rider on TikTok. And yeah, I remember getting a lot of flack for that. But man, those videos that got millions of views, my racing videos, helped grow the racing scene into what it is today. And I believe that racing is still the key to keeping EUC alive. That is my opinion, guys. That is my opinion. I'm not saying racing is the single biggest use case. It is not. I feel like commuting, just going on group rides is bigger than racing. But racing gives the whole community something to watch, something to be inspired by, something to strive for, a reason to wake up and practice. I need to go out training right now. Get ready for Apple Valley on the 12th. And maybe I'll be lucky enough to get a TEF1 ticket on the 20th, I think it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, you know what to do. Become a member of the channel. $2 a month. Get your Zen emoji. Become a Zen master to really help out the channel. I have some new Zen masters. We'll be giving them a shout out soon. I'm really appreciating the entire community. Anyone that takes the time to watch this video all the way through and leave a like, you are much appreciated. And until next time, stay in the Zen zone.